Hey, what's going on, guys? And today I wanted to do a video review for the Sony STR DH790 receiver. So I'm actually going to go through and I'll kind of demo all the options with this receiver. I'll talk a little bit about my setup, kind of walk you through everything, and then we're actually going to do a sound demo as well. So let me actually first walk you through the setup that I have here with this particular receiver. I have a converted garage bay here that I kind of turned into a man cave. So we have two rear bookshelf speakers, also all Sony brand components. I have two tower speakers, each with the additional Atmos firing speakers here on top. And then I have a single 10-inch subwoofer, and additionally I'm using the second sub out on this receiver to power transducers that actually vibrate and put bass into all of these movie theater seats. So really awesome setup. Overall, because the space is so small, the sound in here is just absolutely mind-blowing. So let me actually go through some of the settings on this receiver. So here on the front you have various options. You can set the speakers here. This is the tuning mode, up and down, for basically your FM or AM radio. You have the option here between just front speakers or multi-channel surround sound, and then you can switch between several modes. You have movie mode, which typically I'm using with movies, obviously, and music you're going to be using if you're playing music. Night mode is basically just going to hide the display. Then you have display options here, the dimmer. You can connect Bluetooth, so if you wanted to play music off of your cell phone, something like that. You also additionally have this pure direct mode, which is basically going to put an extra sound enhancement into the sound. I found in some cases I've been up and down about whether or not I use that. You also have an input selector here, so you can switch this between various modes. On the back of the receiver you actually have several options in terms of connecting RCA cables. So if you want to connect standard sound through like a media box, you know, maybe something like a TV. We actually have an older Sony Trinitron here, which I use for retro gaming, and I hooked up one of these RCA switchers that I have connected to all of my older game retro consoles, and I have one of these going into the receiver. So if I simply want to turn on my TV, I have the Sony CRT outputting into my satellite option on the receiver. I have the main LG OLED above here connected via optical in the TV setting, and then I've also got a subwoofer, a second subwoofer out, that's allowing me to utilize this additional box here to run off of the sensor that then powers all of these seats. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of a demo. I'm not going to get too much into anything beyond that, because I'm sure you guys really just want to know, well, how does this sound? So this is actually a demo for a game that was basically testing out Dolby Atmos. So do a little quick demo here. And you can see it'll read out the sound output of whatever's playing. I'm going to skip ahead to some of the action.
D.C.A.C incoming! Targeting our base! Rebels incoming! The rebels have activated the outlet.
Alright, so that gives you a quick little demo. The biggest thing with this that I found is that I particularly wanted to upgrade to the DH790 versus the 500 series, because that allows you to integrate the Dolby Atmos speakers into the entire setup. I basically custom cut all of the wire. You can just get standard speaker wire online, and I custom cut this to length, ran this back to the receiver and connected everything. You want to make sure that none of the wires overlap when you connect the receiver, otherwise this will actually go into a protect mode where it will shut down the receiver, usually because you're, you know, crossing the copper on both ends of the connections from red and black. Other than that, this receiver has been working extremely well. I have the HDMI ARC connected to this, so I'm able to connect it directly to the receiver, and I also have an additional HDMI cable running from this TV all the way across back into my PC, so I'm able to play computer games that are normally run on the computer and display them up here, and I can utilize the HDMI output of the sound from my PC and have it come through my Atmos system. So it works really, really well, really awesome for playing games, doing local multiplayer stuff, or single player games. I did also want to go through the actual remote here. So I'm typically now just using my LG TV remote. I also have the original CRT remote for the Sony, and then I have this to control all the sound. So this pretty much gives you all the same options you have on the front face. You can go through Bluetooth, media, Blu-ray, satellite, game. So again, all of these options are based on what you connect to this. You have a FM AM tuner. You can pair Bluetooth, switch between movie and music. That pure direct mode, you can do just front surround, so that will kind of give you just an effect from the front two speakers in this case. And then you have a display which you can actually hit as well just to see. So if I hit this, it will rotate through, shows me it's in multi-surround, the volume, and then it'll kind of give me an idea of what the input is as well as what's going on with sound at that moment in time. Right now, obviously nothing's being output through it, but it will tell you whether or not you're in like Dolby Atmos mode, for example. This does also have a menu built into the TV, so if we hit amp menu, I'll actually bring this back. We can actually bring up a menu right within the TV itself, and you can configure all the options. This particular receiver also does come with a small microphone that you can use for calibration. I think I actually have it in here just to show you what this looks like. So you get a really long cord that this comes with and a small microphone. This then plugs in to the front section here for the calibration, and this allows you to set this up. So I kind of placed it right here in my middle seat, just sort of centered amongst the entire speaker setup, and that allows this to calibrate based on the size of the room. So overall, I'm extremely impressed with the sound. I love that this is a really good contender in the Dolby Atmos space in terms of what you can do with receivers. You got plenty of connectivity options. You could connect up to 4 devices, not including an optical, and then you of course have the Bluetooth settings, which seem to work really well. This also syncs quite nicely with the TV, so if I turn off the TV, that comes off, right? As well as other components, I have the subwoofer set to auto off, so this is basically turning on and off. As you can see, it already turned off just to save power because of the fact that I've already paused you know, what we're watching on TV. Anyway, I think if you're looking for a powerful receiver, this is definitely a good one to go with, and I highly recommend it. Anyway, thanks for watching.